Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Should You Play, where I show you some spoiler-free gameplay and give you my thoughts after playing new games for a few hours, while also highlighting and checking out at least one of the PlayStation Plus games for each month. In this video I'm playing one of the May 2025 PlayStation Plus games, Balatro, the poker-themed roguelike deck-building game which released in 2024 and quickly became a contender for one of the best indie games of all time after winning numerous awards. Balatro was one of those games I kept hearing buzz about when it released, and then again during award season, but based on what I had seen, I just didn't find myself interested enough to check it out. Fortunately, I was proven wrong, because seeing gameplay versus actually playing it are two very different experiences, and now I kinda understand how a solo indie developer managed to create a game that sold over 5 million copies in a little over a year, so let's talk about it. Balatro is a poker-inspired roguelike where, instead of playing against an opponent, you focus on building powerful decks and hands to beat score requirements. You start off with a standard 52-card deck, and your goal is to create poker hands such as pairs, straights, and flushes to earn chips and multipliers. The better your cards are, the higher your score will be, and the better your hand is, the higher your multiplier will be, and the closer you'll get to clearing the round. Runs are all randomized and broken up into 8 antes, each of which contain 3 blinds, and in plain speak, that means there are 3 rounds within each of the 8 levels, with gradually increasing difficulty as you progress. Having a basic understanding of poker and the general hands involved will definitely be helpful to have, but you don't need to be an expert to start your first run. That said, the game doesn't do the most amazing job at teaching you the more complex mechanics. There is a short little tutorial that walks you through your first few rounds, but after that, the game gets more complicated and you may end up having to rely on external and online guides to fully grasp how scoring and synergy can work. Once you understand how the game does work though, it'll click into place and you'll be well on your way to clearing a path through the antes. Balatro's real hook lives within the card variety and how you're able to build synergy across your various runs. After completing a blind, you'll earn money, and with your money you can purchase Joker cards, tarot cards, planet cards, vouchers, and more, all of which can wildly affect how your game plays. Jokers are passive bonuses that can have many different effects, with some of them being multipliers for playing certain cards or giving you more cards at the start of rounds, while tarot and planet cards can offer one-time effects or modifiers such as boosting certain hands or changing card types. Vouchers, on the other hand, are more expensive, but are permanent upgrades that grant effects such as giving you extra discards or increasing your hand size, and while some of the cards and vouchers can be a bit mediocre, some of them can make you all-powerful as well. Deck building and synergy are the heart of the game, and finding certain combinations can either get you all the way to the last ante, or be the recipe for your undoing, since every run is randomly generated, unless you use a custom seed. For example, I had one run where, because of the combination of jokers and modifiers I had, 2 pairs would get me more chips than a straight flush would, and I could get 4,000 chips and clear the blind with a single hand. But then I would face a boss where I was required to play 5-card hands, and my run would end right there. Boss levels are what can really throw a wrinkle into your playthrough, because while the small blinds and big blinds are just regular levels with score requirements, boss blinds will also have modifiers such as making it so that diamond cards don't give you any points, or rules such as letting you only play one kind of hand for the entire round. The boss blinds do make each ante a little more interesting and tough to get through, but depending on how your deck has been structured or which jokers you're utilizing, they could very easily be set up to hard counter any strategy that's been getting you through the game up to that point. In addition to the cards you can earn and buy while playing, you can also unlock deck types and other cards by completing challenges or reaching certain milestones such as discovering a certain amount of items. As of recording this review, the game also currently has 150 Joker cards and about 80 other modifiers, with more promise to be on the way with an update later in 2025, and with the randomized runs and the amount of cards already in the game, there's no shortage of combinations for you to try out. Balatro definitely feels and looks like an indie game, but I actually say that as a compliment and not as a strike against it, as it's got a retro-inspired art style and soundtrack that are both solid, if not a bit repetitive. The card animations are clean and the overall visual design is simple yet effective, and you can customize the face cards of each suit with franchise-themed skins from The Witcher, Among Us, Fallout, Stardew Valley, as well as a few others. It's not game-changing, but it's a fun little bonus that can make runs feel a bit more personal. The only complaint I have with the game's overall presentation is that the sound effect for clearing a blind weirdly sounds like you actually lost the round, and even after playing for about 7 hours, I still wasn't completely used to hearing it. Otherwise, just like the art style, music, and animations, the sound design is solid across the board. Performance-wise, Balatro runs great. It's not the most technically demanding game you'll ever play, but even with all of the modifiers and randomized elements, I didn't run into any issues such as crashes, frame drops, or any kind of delays. At launch, the game is reportedly already in a really good place, and the developer has been quick to patch the smaller bugs and visual issues that people have found, which is great to hear. It's a very stable game experience, which is especially impressive considering the game is managed by a single person as of right now. Balatro is a fantastic example of why indie games matter. There aren't any microtransactions, paywalls, or padding of any kind in the game. It's just a tightly designed and wildly addictive roguelike that gets better and more complex as you continue to play. If you've enjoyed games such as The Binding of Isaac or Slay the Spire, you'll probably welcome Balatro's just one more game vibe with open arms, and while I think the game is probably a little more enjoyable on mobile or on a handheld device, I still had a great time with it on PS5. So far, I've only unlocked about 20% of the items in the game, but I already know I'll be chasing the rest for the next few weeks and trying to build the best decks possible. I do wish that it did a slightly better job of explaining the mechanics within the game itself, but if you're looking for a one-word answer as to whether or not you should check it out, my answer would still be a yes. And with how replayable the game is thanks to the variety of cards and unlockables that are included, you'll find plenty of content to keep you occupied. As always though, this is just my opinion. Whether you're just starting to learn the cards, or you've already built the ultimate deck with plenty of jokers, let me know in the comments what you think of Balatro. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.